Hello and welcome to another video. For today I'm going to show you some races from the testing of the 2014 mod, and as soon as I upload this video the pre-season will be on, so you can join. The first race is in Indianapolis, USA. We got a pretty bad start. We went down inside of Big Mac, then Pucci gets collected. Meanwhile, around the outside goes Big Mac. We try on the inside. He couldn't do the switchback move, but still really close to us. But we still kept the second place. He was pretty close through that section of corners. Of course, without this season we don't have DRS like in 2015. And here I made a massive mistake. Went on just downshifting too early, and I lost control on the car. Now as we move a few laps later, we overtake Carlos Enrique, and we are ahead of him. He was way too late on the brakes and we lost some time there, but it wasn't a big problem. Like, I didn't have much damage, so we carry on and we move another few laps later. Actually, one lap later, I think this is when Big Mac just stops after the main straight and starts doing donuts for no particular reason. But anyway, we move another 2 laps later, I think, and we are closing to Pucci. The slipstream on this straight and on the bank section is really powerful. As you can see, we are gaining and gaining and gaining. We are really close to Pucci, and we go for the late launch on the inside, way too hot on the brakes. He tries the switchback, he goes around the outside, then switches to the inside and the outside for the next corner. We outbrake ourselves for the second time in this race, and Pucci keeps his place. Now on the next lap we are much closer to him again, using the slipstream, really powerful here. We go on the outside, very late on the brakes, but again we miss the braking point, so we go off. We go out a little bit on the track, but Pucci keeps his place. Now we try to switch back the same way he did on us, but we go off track. We spun and Pucci goes off the track as well, so we both made a weird mistake. Very unlike. We move onto the end of this lap. We wait for each other to recover from this incident, and again we are really close to Pucci. And a little bit off topic, but this McLaren looks really well, at least on the game. Like, the 2014 cars are very ugly, but this McLaren looks kind of good for the 2014 cars. Anyway, we go around the final corner, close to Pucci, but not enough to make the overtake. So we move again onto the last part of the last lap. Pucci makes the same mistake we did on the first lap. We still wait for him because I wanted a very dramatic end, but it wasn't so dramatic. Anyways, we're side by side with Pucci, going on the last corner. Piero for some reason stops on the finish line. Pucci really close, but not enough to overtake us, and we actually take the win after Piero was just waiting for us at the start finish line. But well, obviously we got the win.
Yes. Papi. Woohoo! Yes! Grazie, grande squadra. Grazie, forza Ferrari. Grazie, ragazzi.
Stay negative.
Yeah, got it covered.
And of of course the mandatory donuts after every race, and we move to Bahrain for the next this race. Actually, the first race of the season will be here. So yeah, there was another car with the same name as me, and literally the same car. I don't know who that was. Anyway, we got a really good start, but we brake a little bit too early. We get hit by Piro a little bit. Around the outside of us goes Carlos Enrique, who had some decent pace this race, and we are down to P2. And Piro tries down the inside of us. He was way too late on the brakes, but he was still there somehow. As you can see in our mirrors, he went down the inside and now tries late launch on the inside. Doesn't work out. Goes on the gravel trap, and Pucci goes ahead of him. He's really close to us. As you can see, everyone just exceeds the track limits. Of course, this was testing, so it's not a big problem now. Piro taps Pucci on the rear. Meanwhile, Carlos cut the corner, second corner. Pucci is still very close to us. You can see the top 3 is so close. I hope in the season, every race we have so close, this close racing. Here I made a mistake. Actually, I wasn't very consistent, especially in this race, and Pucci now really close to us, coming to turn number 10. He gets great exit, of course, using the powerful slipstream. Tries to go on the inside. Of course, the anchored cameras on the Bahrain circuit, we are forced off track, but Pucci gets the job done, although we're really close rejoining the track. But still, we're behind him, not for so long, as we made a big dive bomb. But again, Pucci switchbacks us, and now we try another late launch on the brake. Literally, as I was braking, I decided to make the move. Like, I wanted to make it after this red line. Pucci is really close to us, but Piro is much closer to Pucci than he is to us. Piro goes on the inside for the first corner and gets the job done. And still he's really close to us. Like, the top 4 was super close in this race. But as we move to the final lap, there was a rain in Bahrain, which is very unlikely to happen, and Piro loses control. We were getting closer and closer to Carlos, but he still managed to hold us and win the race, which was I think 8 laps or something like that. Not as long as it will be in the season, but it was a pretty intense race. And for the next race we go to Mexico, and Pucci had some problems. Weird.
Power! I'm losing power, it's going!
Okay, keep going, safe. Keep going for now.
I can't, it's broken!
So here we are in Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, waiting for the 5 red lights, and it's lights out. And away we go, and this time we get pretty decent start, but as it was raining, I compromised my setup to have much more rear downforce, obviously, and Pucci gets us with his straight power, straight line speed, but we just briefly take the lead before the apex of the first corner. Then we get out by Carlos, and we are down to last place. Now this is Piro against Pucci once again in this video. He goes down the inside very late on the brakes, as they both, actually no, only Piro went off the track, and they touched, and Pucci as well as the other Ferrari spins. And we go around the outside of Pucci. We are really close, and Pucci spins once again, unfortunately. And another stopper. Actually, I can't remember who that was. I'm sorry, but I really can't remember. That was like 2 weeks ago. So please excuse me. And we are up into P3, and for a few laps we were chasing after Pira. Then on the last corner he made this really weird mistake. Like, no, actually it wasn't weird because obviously it's raining, but for some reason I had much more stability than anyone else in this race. We wait for Pucci. I was waiting for Pira actually, but he didn't recover. He stayed there for another 1 lap for some reason to the exact same spot. And we are getting really close to Pucci. Then Pucci loses control. We tap him, and we are both off track. Waiting for Pucci. And the other Ferrari is just on our tail. Again, I don't know who that was. So as we start a new lap, Pucci with much better straight line speed, of course, with his slower rear wing, but we had much more stability than him. The other Ferrari seems like he was running higher rear wing too, because he wasn't gaining so much from us. Now on the braking point, Pucci loses control once again, and we hit him. We spun around. The other Ferrari. No, actually that wasn't us. Actually, this is the other I'm really confused. Yes, this is the other Ferrari. We didn't spun, we just waited for him. As the other Ferrari goes really wide, gets scared of Pucci, brakes really early, and spins. Hits the barrier, and actually we did hit Pucci on the back, because it was kind of domino effect. Now Pucci goes very hot on the brakes, misses the braking point, goes wide again as we make really easy overtake on him. Going around the final corner, as you can see there's no very much grip, and we were on the inters, not on the mediums. As you can see, it's just a replay bug, it's not the tire we were on. And Pucci is gaining on us, but not as much as I expected, to be honest. We miss the braking points, we go wide on the first corner, and we invite Pucci to overtake us once again. And here he has much better straight line speed, combined with the slipstream, and now he goes to the inside. Can he make the move? Yes, he can. We tried to make something like switchback, but it didn't work at the end of the day. So Pucci up to P1 once again, but he goes wide, and we almost touched wheels, but we didn't. Now Pucci again, very late on the brakes. As we touch, and we both spun. This corner was very problematic, it turns out, for many drivers in this race, especially in the rain. You can see how the car just slides, and it behaves really weirdly after 5 or 6 laps in the rain. And now Pucci much closer to us. We use the power of his straight line speed and overtakes us. No way, no point really to fight him. And as he spins in the first corner once again, we kind of wait for him, and the other Ferrari again out of nowhere just comes here and starts fighting with us. He's on the outside of Pucci, and Pucci once again on the same corner loses the rear again. I think this is because no one expected rain in Mexico, and everyone was running really long wings. As when it's dry, actually it's not a problem to run very long wings. And here the other ferry dive bombs us, but we find back and we are first place once again. But he's really close. After this last corner, used the slipstream. There was Big Mac who was just sitting on the start finish straight for no reason again. And as you can see, the other ferry is really close to us on this straight. Gets much better exit, to be honest, using the slipstream. Very late on the brakes, but he taps us and we're spun around again. And this is kind of the end of the race. I don't really know who won. I think the other ferry won, but it was kind of a good race. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and join the league and our Discord.